Hi, welcome to All 360 on MYBET.AFRICA on YouTube. And as I said earlier, you can follow us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's MYBET.AFRICA, and also give us a subscribe on YouTube as well. It's All 360 on MYBET.AFRICA. MYBET are also doing something exceptional for you. And they say that you can stand a chance of joining the Black Stars or be on the flight to Qatar to watch all the games which the Black Stars are going to play in Qatar in Group H, where they're going to play against Portugal and Uruguay as well as South Korea. What they say you should do is dial the number *447*14 to enter the draw. You just have to place a bet of 20 Ghana cedi or more. Use that bet slip to enter into that draw while you dial the number *447*14# to be in that draw, and that lucky winner could be on the trip to go watch all 3 games of the Black Stars. And you can also dial the short code *380*14# to answer trivia questions. So you test your football knowledge, and if you answer all the trivia questions correctly, you will be put into a draw, and if you emerge as the lucky winner, you will be on that flight to watch all Ghana games in Qatar 2022. I'll be introducing my guests shortly after this break. Welcome back from All 360 on MYBET.AFRICA. Give us a subscribe on YouTube because we will be giving you some juicy odds before you go today. It's Saturday and Sunday. Juicy odds for you over this weekend. I've been joined by Francis Agweben as well as Don Perry in studios with me. Guys, it's another weekend. It's another interesting weekend. Last week, obviously, just one prediction that didn't go right for us. We're hoping that this week we're going to have 100 over 100 for our viewers. But we just showed it to the English Premier League. And Francis, early kick-off tomorrow, early kick-off today, Liverpool will be taking on Nottingham Forest away from home. How do you see that one go?
Well, if you look at Jurgen Klopp and his team this season, they kept blowing hot and cold. They struggled to win their midweek game against West Ham United. Ketsi, Darwin Núñez, fantastic header. But the creeping boys of the league so far this season happens to be Nottingham Forest. Yes, it will take time for Steve Cooper and his team to gel and to get the team going to play in his footballing philosophy, because when he was with Swansea City, we saw what he brought on board. He dragged them to the promotion playoffs, but they couldn't qualify. Then he went to Nottingham Forest last season. He managed to bring them to the Premier League. But the step up, the upgrade, they never did the recruitment on time. They signed as much as 21 to 22 new players. And if you're experienced in this game, you know that it will take a little bit of time for the players to gel. It's just that he found himself at the wrong end of this particular transfer thing. I think with time, with the kind of quality that they've brought on board, they've shown him patches, but they have to do that over the course of 90 minutes. And if they can stick together, like earlier in the season, they put David Moyes' West Ham United to the sub by 1 goal to 0 to win that match at the Nottingham Forest Stadium. So the way Liverpool themselves are playing, if they are not careful, they will be confronted with a stiffer opposition, because Nottingham Forest have quality in there. But it's just that they're not putting their asses together to work like a collective unit over the course of 90 minutes. But if you push me to the wall for this game, Derek, I can see this game producing goals.
So goals, what's your odds? Is it over 2 or over 1?
I will go for an over 1.5. The game should not produce less than 2 goals.
All right, an over 1.5. But Manchester City will also be at home to face Brighton. After Franco De Zerbi came after playing a 3-3 draw against Liverpool. He's not had that good of a form. He lost to Tottenham Hotspur and also played out a 0-0 draw against Nottingham Forest in midweek. How do you see this one go further?
I'm also going for straight for City. You know, Brighton should have won in midweek against Nottingham Forest. And you can't go to the Etihad expect to win after City lost to Liverpool last weekend. City have rested. They've got a lot of fresh legs going into that game. So a City win and over 1.5. City win and over 1.5.
It's
So
Manchester
that
City.
it will boost the odds a little.
Absolutely. So Manchester City win and over 1.5, or you want to play safe. Odds on all 360 for MYBET. Their odds for Manchester City win is 121, 121. So that's a cool odd for you to place your money on. But the big one on Saturday is Manchester United away to Chelsea.
That is, it doesn't get bigger than this one. You look at Eric Ten Hag's team, what they did in midweek against Tottenham Hotspur. They actually grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck, dictated the tempo of the game, played some beautiful stuffs. They could have won that game by a larger margin if they were prolific in front of goal. Typical example, Marcus Rashford wasted loads of chances. You could tell the creativity, the telepathy between the wingers are now beginning to gel for them. And this is what Manchester United used to do in the past, where they have Nani, Cristiano Ronaldo, Ryan Giggs, with Michael Carrick and then Paul Scholes in the midfield, orchestrating things from all angles. If you look at what Anthony in particular is bringing on board to them this season after he moved from Ajax, he's adding something like an X factor, wild factor into the attacking. He stretches the game. And in Marcus Rashford, they have someone that has the legs to be able to drag opposition defensive units out of position and make life simply unbearable for them. But the problem is that calmness and composure in front of goal. After Graham Potter took over from Thomas Tuchel for Chelsea, you could tell they won 5 matches without even drawing any of the matches on a bank, winning both in the league and in the Champions League until midweek when they drew blank against Brentford, which I will blame the manager for because he benched Raheem Sterling together with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. If they started that game, they could have won the game because if you look at the possession, they did very well. They possessed the game. They played very well. The patterns were there, and you could tell they kept the defensive unit open. But that calmness, that figure that will be able to put the leather ball at the back of the net was what they were lacking in that game. But going back against Manchester United, who are in some fantastic form this season after they started poorly, you could tell that we are in for a firing game. And from the form of Graham Potter's team, if they turn out to play well, I will go for a Chelsea home win or draw.
Chelsea home win or draw for Francis Agüero. But we move straight into Sunday games in the English Premier League, where Arsenal kicks off and they play at St Mary's and they'll be playing against Southampton.
Southampton did themselves a favour by winning in midweek against Bournemouth away from home. They are playing at St Mary's, but looking at the form and the fire with which Arsenal are playing, I don't see them losing at St Mary's. They played in the Europa League in midweek and having some players rested, I feel Arsenal are will be too strong for Southampton at St Mary's. So an Arsenal win or draw for the day.
I mean, both pundits are actually going for Arsenal win or draw for Arsenal, and they have been given 1.51. That is a cool odd for Arsenal. So if you want to put your money on Arsenal, we saw them win difficultly away to Leeds United at Ellen Road. Can they replicate the same thing? That's what my guys are saying, that they could win or draw in that one. But our final game on Sunday is Tottenham Hotspur, who lost to Manchester United in midweek, play host to Newcastle United, who also won against Everton in midweek.
Well, if you look at Eddie Howe's team, which happens to be Newcastle, they've been playing some brilliant stuff across the division from last season. I won't say this season. After Eddie Howe took over and helped them escape relegation last season, you could tell that they put their foot on the drive, the accelerator, and they are not ready to take their foot off. The injury to Alexander Maxima, who happens to be their best player, who can destroy any opposition defensive unit, is gradually taking that firepower out of them. But they are managing to grind out results, because if you look at players like Joe Willock and co, they are playing to the strength of the team, and that is what is sparkling about what they are doing. In midweek against Everton, you could tell they managed to get an odd positive goal to win the game. Under normal circumstances, They shouldn't be winning that game, but they managed to win the game. And if you look at what they are bringing on board this season, they are playing as if they really have money and they are ready to do something extraordinary because the players are motivated enough to do something that is expected of them. You know, sometimes when you go to play in matches and there is no motivation factor, the players tend not to play like they don't have anything extraordinary to prove. But this season, there's competition in the team, and it is difficult. At the flip side, if you look at what Antonio Conte's Tottenham Hotspur are doing, especially on their home turf, in midweek against Manchester United, they never came to the party. But the injury to Dejan Kulusevski is taking a bite out of their attack. But in Harry Kane, Son Heung-min, you have potential goal scorers on any given day. Harry Kane, who happens to be in the club 200s, thereby hunting the top goal scorer of all time in the English Premier League from Alan Shearer, tells you that if they can get the balls to him at the attacking third, he will manage to conjure the goals because at the Tottenham Stadium, they are very, very deadly.
Only been beaten once this season, and they have proven to be a difficult side this season. How do you see this one go?
After tasting their second defeat in the Premiership so far, whenever Tottenham play at home, they are very strong. And I believe having lost to United at Old Trafford in midweek, Tottenham will try to make amends when they come out against Newcastle, who are another strong side. But when it comes to Conte at home, trust that Tottenham Spurs will not lose. So it's a win or draw for Tottenham on Sunday against Newcastle.
A win or draw for Tottenham on Sunday against Newcastle. So that's it for the English Premier League. We will take a quick time. When we come back, we'll just straight into La Liga, and we will be bringing you all the odds in La Liga.